joining us today for our first edition of Slack It's a Snap. Your hosts today, Trevor Dowd and Wendy Goldband of the Slack team. Welcome to our first episode of Slack It's a Snap, a special show where we answer questions sent in by our QualityNet users. Today's topic is workflows. We'll be reading your questions and giving you the answers you need to successfully use Slack workflows to simplify your daily work. Trevor, let's begin by you first explaining to our listeners what workflows actually are.
Thanks, Wendy. Well, workflows are simple, no code required solutions to your everyday tasks in Slack. These can be simple or complex solutions, and they can even connect to your other apps. Some reasons you might want to use a workflow include onboarding of a new member. So if you need to send them some information packets, reminders for daily meetings, or collecting information from your team, whether that's a suggestion box, a polling result, or any sort of other feedback that your team may need.
So Trevor, how do you actually begin a workflow?
Well, Wendy, it couldn't be more simple. So what you're going to want to do is click on the drop down by the name of your Slack workspace, in our case, CCSQ QualityNet. You'll scroll down to Tools, and there you'll be able to open the Workflow Builder. I think it's best if I just show you. So as you can see, I'm going up, selecting the CCSQ QualityNet drop down, going over to Tools, and I open this Workflow Builder. It'll take a second, but then you hit Create, type the name in. So for this one, we'll just type in an example name. And there we go. You'll hit Next, and your workflow will be ready to go.
So Trevor, I have a question from one of our users. It involves something called triggers. The question is, can I send a survey form every day to my team so they fill in specific information about a project? And Trevor, can you also explain what triggers actually are?
Absolutely, Wendy. Triggers are the lifeblood of your Slack workflows. Every single workflow that you start will start with a trigger. Now, these triggers can be a shortcut from the menu. It can be a new channel whenever they're added. That can trigger your workflow. An emoji reaction. So say you react with a heart, you can have that trigger your workflow. Schedule date and time as well. So every single day you can have a workflow. Or webhooks. These are a little more technical, but if you need some help with those, please reach out to us and help Slack, and we'll be more than willing to help you get that set up. So for this particular one, you're going to want to use the attachments shortcut. And then after a trigger, you'll have a step. And steps can be anything from messages, forms, or steps from other applications. We're just touching on that now. There are no apps that have additional steps in our workspace, but we just wanted to make sure we mentioned it. So just to show you how you'll set up a trigger, what you're going to want to do is click on, for this one, we're going to go to shortcut. So select shortcut. You'll have to pick the channel that you want your trigger to be set up in. So we have a little workflow example channel, and we'll just call it form to fill out. So that's the form that you're going to want to fill out for each one. And so whenever anyone clicks on the lightning bolt, they'll be able to pull up this form. Then you'll add a step of send a form, and I'll just type in some example text here. And you'll put in your questions, and then you can select what sort of answer you want. This can be, a short answer, so just a couple words, or it can be a long answer, or it can be a multiple choice. Then you're going to send it who you want it to send to. In this case, I will send it to me, and you'll save it. You'll go up, hit publish, and your workflow is ready to go.
I have another question from a QualityNet Slack user, Trevor. This one asks, is there a way to help my new team members get onboarded using triggers?
Yes, there is. So what you're going to want to do in this is you're going to select the trigger for new users. Then you'll select a message, which will then be in the in the steps, you'll select a message that you can then send to the user as a special, welcome message of some sorts, just to, get your users onboarded.
So we have our special visitor today with a question about workflows for us. Barbara Soros, please go ahead.
Hello, Trevor and Wendy. So good to speak with you. I just love learning about this versatility of workflows. What a great way to cut down on repetitive chores. But let me not take up your time with my chit chat. My question is, how would I set up a workflow to remind my team to attend a daily meeting? So many times I have members who are late or just don't show at all to our daily production meeting. Can you show me how to set up a workflow that would remind them to attend each day 5 minutes before the start of the meeting?
Absolutely, Barb. So to get this workflow started, you'll start it like any other workflow. So you'll create, and we'll do the Barb example for this one. So that way, know which one it is. You'll hit next, pull up your trigger, and this time we're going to want date and time. You want 5 minutes before. So let's say your meeting's at 9:30. We're going to schedule this one for 9:25, and it will start tomorrow. And we're going to have it repeat every weekday. You can't have it be every day, every week, on like a certain day. Whatever you want, you can customize it. We'll send a message this time. And this message will be, hi, please join the meeting. And then you can include anything else that might be relevant. So say it's a Zoom meeting, you could include a Zoom link, whether, or Teams or whatever you're using. You can then include a link directly from in the message to send to users. Then you'll pick the channel, hit publish, and you're ready to go. Did that answer your question, Barb?
Yes, Trevor. Wonderful. I can't wait to set that workflow up in QNET Slack.
Glad this will help, Barb. Trevor, we have time for one last question. It reads, what if I want other people to collaborate on my workflow?
Well, Wendy, that's super simple. Collaborators can be added from the settings menu. This will grant others to have permissions to manage your workflows. So only add people that you trust and want to work with, because they can edit, remove, unpublish, or even delete a workflow. They have complete control over it, just like yourselves. So you can add any sort of collaborators or admins. Workspace owners and admins can actually add themselves. So if you're struggling with a workflow and you can't figure out, why is this not working, then you can just reach out to us and Help Slack. We'll hop on, help you figure it out, and then jump right back off. So to add collaborators, you're going to go to the tool setting again, go to your workflow, open that up. Then you'll click on the settings tab instead of the workflow tab, and you'll have a manage collaborators. You can just type in the @ there of any one of the users in the workspace. And as long as they're workspace in this or user in this workspace, they will be added and you can work with them.
So, Trevor, this has been great. Thanks so much for all this information on workflows. Hopefully, all our users have a good understanding of what they are now and can get started using them. If anyone has any further questions or needs help setting up their workflow, please contact our Help Slack channel in QualityNet Slack. And I highly encourage all of you to join us for our Slack Intermediate Workflows training classes. The upcoming dates are Wednesday, July 13th at 9:30 a.m., Tuesday, August 23rd at noon, and Tuesday, September 6th at 2 p.m. You can find session dates and registration links on our QualityNet Slack Confluence space. And just a reminder that our Slack Confluence space is loaded with information, so be sure to check it out. So that's it for today. Slack is a Snap. Thanks for joining us.
And I will turn it back over to you, Molly.
That was awesome. Thank you, Trevor and Wendy. Learned a lot there. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again.